Let's understand now what is a language hierarchy. So, language hierarchy is shown in the figure. So, in the language hierarchy, you can consider in the innermost cycle is represented by regular languages and FSM. This is the language, is the basic level of language, and this is defined by a machine called FSMs, that is finite state machine. Then above that, bit higher level, we have context free language, and this is represented by PDAs, and you can observe regular language comes under context free languages. That means regular languages can be defined using a machine called FSMs as well as PDAs, because regular language is a subset of context free languages. Then we have a decidable language and semi-decidable language, which are represented using machine called Turing machine. Let's understand about regular language in detail. Regular languages can be accepted by some finite state machine. So, here in the figure I have shown one finite state machine which accepts strings of A's and B's where all A's come before B's, and this finite state machine has a start state, and remember finite state is, as the name suggests, it must have a finite state. So, we have only 3 states. All the circles here represent the states, and the arrow here you can see for this state there is a arrow is attached. So, this is a start state, and double circle always represents the start state. So, here start state is also an accepting state. There are 2 accepting states. So, this is the first model for this is the model for a regular language, one of the regular language. And here for the input for the FSM will be a string, and where one character will be taken at a time, and transition happens, and if the string is part of this language, then finally the machine accepts it, otherwise it rejects it. The second type of a language is a context free language. Context free language can be accepted by some push down automata called also represented as PDA. Consider the language L equal to A to the power n B to the power n. All A's come first, and the number of A's equals the number of B's. So, if we try to build an FSM for this language, we cannot count the A's so that we can compare them to the B's, because here the main constraint is number of A's and number of B's are equal, whereas that is remembering the number of A's is not possible in case of FSM, as the memory is represented in the states in case of FSM, or memory is present only in the state. So, that's why with the FSM we can't identify A to the power n, B to the power n. To solve this problem, we can add one thing, a single stack to a FSM, so that we can remember the number of A's. So, we will call any machine that consists of FSM plus a single stack a push down automata or PDA, which is shown in the figure. So, this is a PDA, and here the stack is included, but we cannot see the stack, but there is a stack. In implementation of PDA must contain a stack. So, now here whenever what happens is, here whenever we get A, we will be gone inputting onto the stack, or we are gone inserting into the stack, and whenever you get B, you go on popping A's. Whenever you get B, that is in the string, whenever you get B, you go on popping the A's. For every B, you pop one A. That is why, and once all the input is over, so if the input is proper, you will land in the accepting state. Otherwise, you might go to the dead state. Let us understand about decidable and semi-decidable language. So, decidable language which can be decided by some Turing machine that always halts, and semi-decidable language which can be semi-decided by some Turing machine that halts on all strings in the language. So, what do you mean by this? Language L is decidable if and only if, again let me explain these lines. Language L is decidable if and only if there exists a Turing machine M that halts on all inputs, accepts all strings that are in L and rejects all strings that are not in L. In other words, M can always say yes or no as appropriate. That means, let us consider one program. The program, if I give an input, if it gives the output, or it can give no. These are the two possibilities, but certainly I am going to get an answer as yes or no. But when it comes to the semi-decidable language, if the string is part of the language, then it is going to accept it. If the string is not part of the language, then it may reject or it may loop forever. You might have seen while running a program, maybe it is a C program. If you have not given a proper input, then it may loop forever. So, that possibility can come in case of semi-decidable language, and both kind of a language is represented by a Turing machine. So, you can see this is a third kind of a machine, and in case of this kind of a machine, what we have a infinite tape and finite state control, and the tape will have always a read write head, and read write head will be normally used for reading and writing, and it will be on the character, above on the character that you are going to read currently. So, based on the current input character and the current state, the Turing machine will be processed, and finally either it is going to accept your input or reject your input. So, one of the examples that your language you can give for a Turing machine is a to the power n, b to the power n, c to the power n, and this kind of input cannot be processed by a FSM, finite state machine, first kind of a machine. Second kind of a machine, that is PDA, which is this kind, because as we have to compare three characters A, B and C, which is not possible in case of second kind of a machine. That's why we need a infinite tape with the finite state controller. So, this is used to compare the number of A's and number of B's and number of C's. Here 3 characters need to be compared, which was not possible in earlier kind of machine. So, that's about language hierarchy.